Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching, joining, or listening to us from. This is episode 10 of the Naija FC podcast. We appreciate you for joining us as always. I'm your host, AyoT, my name is from EaglesTracker, and I have with me my co host.
Smith Layi. Welcome and thanks
Yes,
for joining.
thank you very much, Midlai. Before we get into it, let me just use this first 1 minute to apologize very dearly to our audience, to our supporters, to everybody that watches our videos, that listens to the podcast. I sincerely apologize. I will accept the blame. It's not on Smith Lai, it's on me. Life has been lifing, a lot of stuff has been happening. Work, family, personal life, business, all sorts of things. And I just haven't quite been able to find the time to record. But as I always say, I hope that things have turned the corner and now there'll be some consistency. Of course, it's the holiday season, so maybe if I'm giant with family or some guys with his family, we might not be able to drop back to back episode. But in the new year, by God's grace, we'll keep this thing consistent. The goal really is that we're dropping this thing weekly. That's the ideal state. But let's even imagine that we're not able to do weekly, at least every other week. We definitely should not be giving you guys elongated absences. So I sincerely do apologize, but I appreciate all of you that are tuned in and listening now. It's been a very interesting few weeks. We've missed out on some interesting topics. But for today, we want to do a quick review of the last weekend of action where a lot of Nigerian players, featured. At EaglesTracker, I think this past weekend we tracked about 327 matches. 327 matches over the weekend, Friday to Monday, quote unquote, weekend. But yeah, and there were over 173 Nigerian players in action, all over the world, in all the way from Premier League in England to the Azerbaijan, China, Malaysia, everywhere we did. And yeah, of course, we're recording this on December 11th. Monday and the CAF Awards have happened. Lots of stuff to talk about there, interesting topics. It was a good day for Nigeria. We'll get into it later. And then obviously some little bit of controversy, if you want to call it that, some gist to talk about. But quickly, let's get into the weekend. Let's get into the weekend review. I'll just run through, I think, some people that maybe we should point out and just hail them for their performance and how things have been going. Of course, Victor Boniface won the Rookie of the Month award in the German Bundesliga for the fourth time in a row. If he managed to do maybe two more, then suppose just from next season, the Victor Boniface Rookie of the Month award. Maybe just no say, then don't give him this thing permanently. So anybody that is coming after now, the Boniface award, they win. So yeah, congratulations to Boniface for that one. I'm so happy for him. 6 days ago, the Super Falcons qualified for WAFCON 2024 with a comprehensive 7-1 aggregate victory over Cape Verde. Fantastic performance in the first leg, 1-5-0. Second leg was a bit shaky, but we came from behind Okonkwo and Ajibade, with the goals, and we qualified. I would say, let me just give shout out to Henry Ekuru, because now on this podcast where I don't banter you before, about Saudi, but Onyekuru has improved. He has picked up form in Saudi. In the past like 6 weeks, he has scored like 4 goals, got like 1 assist. So he's like this EaglesTracker guy. Shut up. So Onyekuru, I'm sorry. Kudos to you. You're improving. You're doing well now. Give a shout out to I would say Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi is in great form, scoring goals, writing assists, impressing for Fulham. Got another assist this weekend. Fulham won 5-0 against West Ham. Their form is something that is definitely interesting to see. And long may it continue. We pray it does. Also looking at Chiamaka Nnadozie, another fantastic performance, for Paris FC Femini in goal. Cyril Dessers, who we've also bashed him on this podcast before. Cyril Dessers scored, over the weekend, for Rangers, his fifth Scottish Premiership goal of the season. He scored in Rangers 3-1 win. And Leon Balogun, he's been playing for Rangers in the past few weeks. He doesn't play every game. They'll bench him sometimes, they'll play him sometimes. He's on the older side, so you can understand. But I like the fact that his performances are actually quite good when he plays. In the English Championship, Willy Onye, Wilfred Ndidi is the guy's having a fantastic season. Just when a lot of people thought Ndidi was done, a lot of people thought it was over for him. A lot of people thought it could never be, the level that he was again. Enzo Maresca came and said, Ndidi, I want you to be an attacking midfielder. I want you to score goals. I want you to provide assists. And he has taken up the responsibility well, and he's doing so well for Leicester. And it's one of these things that you'll be like, so should we move Ndidi forward for Nigeria? I mean, we should leave him play for DM for Super Eagles. I mean, moving forward, let Onyeka and Oyedika be doing the dirty work, behind him. But still impressive. And I watched Maresca's. Do you know Coach's voice? It's like
Yes.
Coach's voice. So yeah, they did a session with Enzo Maresca. Where he was talking about his style of play, his tactics, and how he likes to. And he was talking about how he likes to use his midfielders. And I was just like, you can tell why Ndidi is thriving. And that's the thing. They should not try it in Nigeria, because if they try it in Nigeria, we don't have Maresca that is going to set up the formation the way Leicester is doing it. So it won't have the same effect. But I have to give him this credit. He's definitely impressing for Leicester. Let me see. Chidera Ejuke, the forgotten man, the dazzler, the dribbler. I'm on record saying that Ejuke is the most entertaining Nigerian player since Okocha. I cannot take it back. I'm on record saying that. And injuries have not helped him at all. He went to Germany last year, was injured for almost the entire season, then got relegated. He's moved now to Real Antwerp. He's playing for Antwerp on loan this season. And he scored, in back-to-back games, I believe. So I'm happy to see him at least, reviving himself small. Because Ejuke, I believe, is a very good player, skillful player. And if he cannot shine in a league like Belgium, then, it will bring up a lot of questions about his ability. Because I remember when he was in Netherlands, the boy was hot. So yes, shout out to Ejuke, long may it continue. I would also give a shout out to Samuel Kalu. I remember last episode, if I'm not mistaken, I asked you that can Kalu work his way back into Super Eagles. We said there was no chance for him, but he has continued his good form. Scoring goals. When he's not scoring goals, he's being a threat. He's getting assists. Hopefully, Kalu, I think the thing with him is his ability has never been in doubt.
Yes.
Like nobody has ever looked at Kalu and said, "Oh, he's a bad player. He cannot play ball." It was Gennett Ross' replacement for Victor Moses. It was supposed to come and change that wing play for Nigeria, and unfortunately, injuries have just not served him well at all. So hopefully he can stay fit. I like Samuel Kalu. He's a good guy. Like I've had different conversations with him. He's a good guy, nice man. And hopefully, he can just stay fit and do really well in Switzerland, like he's currently doing with Lausanne Sports. I think 3 goals, 2 assists this season, in 8 starts. Not bad. And I mean, it's not like he's playing for the best team in the league or anything like that. His team is currently in the bottom half of the table, so that tells you, but he's still doing pretty decent. Okay, very quickly, I would also give a shout out to Jesse Sekidika. Scored a goal over the weekend for Saba. Boniface, I already mentioned him for the Rookie of the Month, but he also got an assist for Leverkusen to help them earn an important draw and stay unbeaten in the league. In Belgium as well, Aroku Dare and Iraso, they both scored. They both scored for Genk. Rasheedat Ajibade scored for the 3rd game in a row. Shout out to her, happy for her. Started the season a little bit, of a dry patch, and now she has scored 3 matches in a row. Hopefully she can continue like that. And Francis Uzoho, I'll give Uzoho a shout out. Maybe I know Vex, but Uzoho play this weekend and keep clean sheets. I think it's his first start since God knows when. Let me see if I can quickly check it up. I know that last time I started a match. Let me see. So the last game he played was 10th of November, but that
Mm-hmm.
one he came on as a sub because their goalkeeper got injured during the match.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that he started before that was in May,
Mm.
20th of May. So his first start for his club since the 20th. That's crazy when you think about it.
Yes, that's crazy.
His first start for his club was 20th of May. He made 5 saves. He wasn't just a passenger. He made 5 saves. He kept a clean sheet, and they won the game. The only thing is, a lot of people were saying, why are we telling them that they don't care because Zoho has already failed them?
Yeah.
Somebody said something that I thought was interesting, and I'll just use that one to before we segue into the CAF Awards. So somebody said that this Omonia, Zoho's club, that they are smart. They
Yeah.
know that if Zoho goes for AFCON, FIFA will pay them money for participation, for his
Uh-huh.
participation. So
Mm-hmm.
they will get some compensation for however long he's away.
Yeah.
And he's not their first choice, normal. So nobody said that they miss him. So
Yeah.
they want to just give him 1 or 2 matches, make him just
Uh-huh.
play, make
No,
Nigeria call him, make
mm-hmm.
him just play,
Yeah.
Nigeria call him, they
Yeah.
collect their money, and everybody is everybody
Mm-hmm.
is happy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the interesting one. Just since we're talking about goalkeepers, I know I said I'll segue, but I know that what's he called? Jose Pesero, you know, took a trip to South Africa to watch Stanley
Mm-hmm.
Nwabali in action.
Mm-hmm.
Once, also he also kept a clean sheet. He
Mm-hmm.
won 2-0, only made 1 save, so it wasn't too busy. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Make few things, Ademola Lookman. It was
now the best thing I forget with that.
yes, it was so impressive for
Yeah.
Atlanta. And when I watch him play for Atlanta, I just think that Jose Pacero should think about different ways of
Mm,
playing Ademola Lookman than to say he's a winger. He's no longer a winger anymore. He's a striker, supporting striker. He plays very close to the striker. So we need to be aware of that Lookman is not a winger that will just be isolated himself again. You also mentioned um Alex Iwobi. Also, Pacero too should learn from Marco Silva
mm,
that Alex Iwobi is not a defensive midfielder, or is not a that you got to be collecting ball from the central defense. It's not.
mm,
They should play him close to the forward line, so that even if he's a winger, because he's been played as a right wing or left winger, and he's flourishing and he's doing well. I saw
yeah.
his start on BBC today. He said this is like in the last 3 games, he's like the best player in England. They put up the stat that he's like the best midfielder in England currently. About the last 2 games or so that he played for Fulham. So Pacero should look at this thing too and learn how to do this thing too. Shout out to Wilfred Ndidi. I criticize him at the start of the season that
Yeah.
and the reason why I criticize him is that I think that he's a player with more ability that can play I can even leave the club when he got relegated, because he was one of the senior players that stayed at that club. And he took it upon himself. They are like sure to get promoted to the Premier League. Kudos to him. At least the family man, more settled. It's not as if it's moving all about. But I'm happy he's doing it in the Championship. He also needs to do it in the Premier League.
Mm,
That's what the most important thing. And playing him as a midfielder, attacking midfielder in Nigeria, that means that we don't have any. That is one of the things in Nigeria. We don't have any four again, because if he's playing attacking midfielder, who go we are four again? Nobody. Because Onyeka too is not playing defensive midfielder again. Onyeka
mm.
is playing forward, where box to box for
For
Brentford.
Brentford, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we don't have any four again. So we just need to actually learn these things too, and for the goalkeeper to Francis, or we criticize him, but I'm happy that he kept a clean sheet. He should also keep again next week. Not once of use that one to do makeup for us. No, he should also go to next week, perform very well. Not to go to next week and concede 4 goals. So he should also go and perform again. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for AFCON is very close. I'm happy for him. That's the most important thing. I'm happy. And shout out to Kalu too. Shout out to Kalu. You mentioned that too. I didn't believe he'll come back, but he's doing well. Kudos to him.
I mean,
Kudos.
Super Eagles is still at least a little bit of a distance away, but
Mm-hmm.
at least, just from a human, I think from a human point of view, it's
Mm-hmm.
nice to see him playing football. It's nice to see him doing well. After
Mm-hmm.
all the struggle that he has gone through, we know how last season went with Watford, you know. But yeah, and yeah, like I said, shout out to Ademola Lookman. 2 goals for Atalanta over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely impressed. And a lot of people were asking that. So why doesn't he do this for Nigeria? I think that's where the coach needs to find the best solution for all our players. Because Ademola Lookman for Atalanta recently he's been playing as a supporting striker. You know, he's not been playing as a winger, quote unquote, supporting
Mm-hmm.
striker. Even
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time when they play him from the wing, he plays more like an inside forward
Yes.
than an out and out winger that is just running down the flank and crossing ball. So
Yeah.
different dynamics. We've already spoken about how Ndidi plays further
Mm-hmm.
forward for Leicester. You spoke about how Iwobi plays a different position for Fulham. So we just have players that are playing different positions everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So coach needs to find the best solution for it. Needs
Yes.
to find the best system and put the team together in a way that we can
Mm-hmm.
actually impress and flourish. Um, okay, I think that's that on the weekend's action, and let's move on to the CAF Awards. So yeah, highly anticipated award ceremony held by the Confederation of African Football. Um, Obviously, that's the most reputable what's it called, award ceremony for African football. We must say. And we had quite a number of Nigerian players nominated for the awards in this year's own. In the young player of the year category, we had Deborah Biodun. For the women, we had Super Falcons nominated for the national team of the year. Osimhen, Nnadozie, Oshoala, a bunch of different people nominated for different awards. And here's how things went. Team of the year at the um, award was won by the Super Falcons. A lot of people expected this. A lot of people thought maybe they will give it to Morocco or maybe they will give it to South Africa. What did you think of the Super Falcons winning the national team of the year?
I know one thing we have to know basically is that the Falcons, they are the best team in Africa. There's nothing you can't take that one away from them. And forget about that. The team did not really perform well during the WAFCON, but the year of review is from November last year to,
To
is it not
September
to
this
this
year.
November?
No, I think it's
So
even to
that's why I
September
think that
of this of
the
2023.
WAFCON that was played was out of that window.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that they are the best team. Because they are the best performance of the World Cup. The only African that they did not lose any game in 90 minutes. So what do you expect? They're actually the best team. I'm not surprised that the Falcons won the best female
Mm.
team in Africa. They're actually the best
No,
team.
yeah, and I agree with you. No surprise for me. When you consider, when you just take what you said, the period under review,
Yes,
November of 2022 to September of 2023,
yes,
then it takes away anything that the WAFCON wants to bring into it. It's mostly
yes,
about the World Cup, the African qualifiers, and the Olympic qualifiers, and
yes,
we've been pretty much flawless
yes,
in those ones. And in the
hmm,
World Cup, we were exceptional,
yes,
especially for African standards. Yeah, and we were good for world standards as well. Very good.
hmm,
So it wasn't very surprising to me. Congratulations to the Super Falcons. Congratulations to Randy Wardrum. Randy Wardrum was in the initial shortlist for the manager, coach of the year on the female side. Unfortunately, he didn't make it into the final three. But I'm sure Randy Wardrum will still be proud of what he did. And I guess I'll ask you that question. Yeah. How can my team be the best team of the year? Yeah. But
hmm.
my what's it called? But my coach, the coach of that team, is not amongst the top three coaches of the year. Do you think that that's like a little bit of a conflict?
Yeah, yes, I agree with you. It doesn't really all go well because if the coach that is the brain behind the team did not make the top three, and the team that is coaching is the best team of the tournament, that means of the whole year. That means that there's something wrong somewhere. You just need to know this thing because the lady, the Sarah Edge is talking about, she took South Africa to the World Cup. I don't
Yeah.
think Nigeria outperformed South Africa during that World Cup. So for me, I think that it's just CAF did not balance it well there because I think for me, Randy Wardrobe is the best coach in Africa. For me,
And let me ask you, do you think maybe some people are looking at it that, oh, Nigeria has a stacked squad? Our squad is so stacked. We have so many players, and maybe that's why they did not feel that he did as good a job as maybe Desiree Ellis, who took South Africa to the World Cup. Do you think maybe that's why?
so for example, now this is the earliest qualified South Africa for the World Cup with WAFCON since November last year and September this year. What did the Heritage actually what do?
Mm.
That makes her to actually what to win the to win the CAF Women's Coach of the Year. So there's a lot of things we have to look at these days because for me, I think that South African team also have a very good system. But if you remember the team that Nigeria took to the World Cup was like a new team being molded by Randy Wardrobe. So it's more of a tactical, well-built team compared to the South African team. So that's why I believe that Randy Wardrobe is actually what is the best coach. He's the best coach. He's the best coach.
Okay. I'm sure Randy Wardrobe might be feeling a little bit, what's the word, cheated there. But I
Mhm.
also thought it was a bit weird that, he wasn't even among the top. Even if you don't want to say he was the best, if you are going
Mhm.
to give his team that much credit, then you have to give the person that is organizing the team, credit,
Yes.
as well. Okay, let's move to the next one. Young Player of the Year. Unfortunately, Deborah Abiodun lost out on that award. The award was won by, let me not butcher her name, so let me just look this up um, properly. She's a player for Morocco, and her name is Nesrin El Chad. Again, I know I personally did not feel like Deborah was going to win that one. Especially again when you consider the period under review. Um, November, so it doesn't consider the under 20 Women's World Cup. Essentially is what she did at club level and at the World Cup. At the World Cup, she only played one game. She got a red card in that game, even though she played well, but she got a red card. So you cannot really use the World Cup as a yardstick, for her. So that's why I was able to understand. I personally did not expect her to win, so I wasn't too shocked that she didn't. Um, okay, goalkeeper of the year, goalkeeper of the year. Without a doubt in my mind, Chiamaka Nnadozie, selected as the goalkeeper of the year. Fantastic goalkeeper. We know what she's been doing for her club, Paris FC Féminin in France. Fantastic performances. We saw what she did for them at the Champions League as well to help them qualify for the tournament proper. And we saw exceptionally what she did at the World Cup. Playing against Canada, Australia, Ireland, England. She was just fantastic. Very well deserved. I'm happy for her. I think Nnadozie has the ability, the potential to become like a serious, serious African and Nigerian football legend. Um, we like she's, in my opinion, a top 3 goalkeeper in the world. I've said this
Mhm.
before. I think she's a top 3 goalkeeper in the world. And she's still very young. So if she can keep up this level, let's say for the next 10 years,
Mhm.
ha, by the time she's done, she and she'll be like maybe eighth time goalkeeper of the year winner, or 10th time
Mhm.
goalkeeper of the year winner by the time
Yeah.
she's done. So yeah, what did you think about Nnadozie's award?
When I saw the nominee, there's only one winner because for like you said about CAF too, it was the goalkeeper of the year, but it was not in the FIFA. It was not the CAF Pro. It was the South African goalkeeper that was there.
Mm,
But the issue is this: Nnadozie is the best in Africa, and it shows that in all areas. She was so
mm,
exceptional during the WAFCON, even the World Cup. She was the standout player. And I spoke to Rachel Ayagba, former Nigerian goalkeeper, about
yeah.
her. That you have played with different goalkeepers in your generation. What do you think about Chiamaka and those days? Yeah? She described her as a blessing to Nigeria. Yes, she's a blessing to Nigeria. That in fact it's like God dash Nigeria. Chiamaka Nnadozie. Say she's a modern day goalkeeper. Everything she ticks all the boxes. So
Mm,
I'm 100% sure that she's gonna actually win. Though with due respect to all the goalkeepers too, like the goalkeeper, the Moroccan goalkeeper, and also South African goalkeeper, they did well too in their own, but not to the level of Chiamaka Nnadozie. For me, if not because of the goalkeeper of the year, I think Chiamaka Nnadozie should be one of the top 3 as a overall player of the year. That's for me.
Okay, and I think everything very well said. Chiamaka Nnadozie, long may it continue. And since you brought it up, I think we'll just continue from there. But yeah, the CAF best 11 of the year, as voted, which we have to make sure people understand, as voted by the players. I don't know how many. I don't know if it's like all players. I mean, it cannot be all players. Let's be realistic. I don't know if it was the captains. I don't know if it was maybe 3 people from each team. Like, I don't know exactly how it worked, but as voted by the players, the CAF best 11. I personally, I look at that best 11. I was like, huh? what's going on? Chiamaka Nnadozie, who won the award for the goalkeeper of the year, did not make the CAF best 11. It was
Yeah.
Dlamini, the South African goalkeeper.
Mhm.
Michelle Nnadozie was the right back in the team of the year. Shout out to her. Congratulations for that. Asisat Oshoala was the center back in the team of the year. Congratulations to her. Shout out for that. Asisat Oshoala was the striker in the team of the year. Without a doubt, I think. Shout out to her. Congratulations for that. But for me, I was very sad, honestly, that a player like Christy Uchebe did not make that team. I was very sad that Rasheedat Ajibade did not make that team. I wasn't really expecting them to put Rasheedat, if I'm being honest, because once they did not nominate her for the top 3 of the player of the year, and all the top 3 were all forwards, I kind of knew that, okay, she will likely not make it there. Even though I personally believe that she was better than Katlana. Even if Barbara Banda is an argument, but Katlana, I don't even think there's an argument. I think she was by far better. Check what she did at club level. Check what she did for what she's been doing for the national team. Everything. Yes, Katlana did well at the World Cup, but every other thing, Rasheedat was better. But yeah, unfortunately, she didn't make it. And in that midfield, I even want to give credit to Matlalo, the South African girl. She's a good player. We saw her play well at the World Cup.
Yeah.
But the other South African girl that made the team and that Moroccan girl, with all due respect to them, nobody can, I need to see the statistics and the evidence and the videos that prove to me that they were better than Christy Uchebe.
Yes.
Fantastic for Benfica all throughout the season. Fantastic for Super Falcons at the World Cup. I think she won 2 or 3 trophies with her club. Like, personal performance, she was better. Trophies, she was better. Like, I just did not understand how she wasn't selected. But again, like I said, as voted by the players. So I don't know, maybe South Africa, they are popular among the players, or the players don't really watch Uchebe, or they don't really watch Ajibade. I really don't know what it is. But yeah, or maybe Nnadozie offended somebody that they said will not vote, will not select you as goalkeeper. I don't know. But yeah, I was sad for Rasheedat. I was sad for Christy. I was sad for Chiamaka. What did you think of the best exile?
Yeah, for me, I think that's what they call the calf magic. I don't know, who conjure that magic, but clearly we saw the World Cup and we knew Chiamaka and those what's it called? Christy Shebe was arguably Nigeria's best player at the World Cup. I can tell you. He said they call her the discovery of the World Cup. Like, we went to the World Cup to go and know Christy Shebe. We went there to go and know Christy Shebe. So, I don't know, maybe those that voted did not watch the World Cup. I don't know the criteria of voting, who voted, what's the stats you get in that voting, but I just think that, they should not be discouraged. I think Katlana, despite her being voted in the CAF Pro 11, I know we still get there about Oshoala. We still get to that award, but I'm just sad that we deserve like 2 more places in that first, in that 11. But unfortunately, CAF actually at least, CAF think otherwise. But what can we say? at least we are the major winners of the night.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
we're definitely major winners of the night. Okay, so moving forward very quickly. I guess the only things to really talk about are what you already started bringing up, the Women's Player of the Year award and the Men's Player of the Year award. On the Women's Player of the Year side, we had Asisat Oshoala nominated, and she was up against Thembi Kgatlana of South Africa and Barbara Banda of Zambia. Again, Oshoala, no surprise to me. I don't think it was surprising to most people. She won the award for a record 6th time. She has stamped herself as the GOAT of African football, whether male or female, because nobody has ever done that. 6 times African best player. The way he's looking, I cannot even lie. She might do 7 next year. The way things are going, because the Barcelona is still so good. She's still going to score so
So
many goals
good.
for Barcelona.
We might even win the AFCON next year, AFCON. Never know.
Who knows? Yeah, what if we win the AFCON? So congratulations to Oshoala. I guess I want to ask you a question, but do you have something to say first before I ask you a question?
When they announced her to be the award, I saw the response, I saw the video, I saw the what's it called? They put the camera on the face of Kgatlana, and she was not happy. In fact, I don't think why Kgatlana she's not happy, because she didn't even deserve to be there. I saw her start. She doesn't deserve to be there. You put her start up. She didn't deserve to be there. I don't know why he was upset. So, when I look at the team, I just realized that the 3 nominees, it's already Oshoala. The only person that can give Oshoala a tough time is Chiamaka Nnadozie. And she wasn't part of the top 3. So that's the only person that can give Oshoala a tough time. But she wasn't part of the top 3. So I don't expect anybody to be awarded the best player. I think Oshoala deserves it. Because, if you keep on doing this thing, even the World Cup, she came there with injury. It wasn't her best. But the key moments, she decided games against Australia. She came on and the whole thing changed. So, it's still that player that we used to know. Despite the criticism, despite this thing, but I think it's still the Agbabola. You cannot take that one away from her. In fact, you said 7. AyoT, I think 10.
She reached 10. I mean, hopefully, I don't want her to reach 10. Not because I don't like how before people come and jump on me, but because I think if she wins the next 4, then it means that the rest of our players are not progressing. Because let's be realistic. I'm sure even Asisat would agree that she's not improving anymore. I'm sure even she would agree that she's not improving. So let's even say she's just staying constant. What's everybody else doing? Are you not trying to catch up? Are you not trying to raise your level? So if she wins another 4, it means that every other person is asleep. But I think she'll win the next one, I think. Then let's see how other young players, maybe the Chiamakas, maybe the Ajibades, or maybe the Bandas, or somebody young, can come up and show themselves in the next coming years. But yes, shout out to Asisat Oshoala.
I want to add something to what you just said. Somebody said that the day she snaps with Messi, that Messi don't pass the anointing of that. Messi don't pass the anointing of that winning to her. That anytime your team perform well, now Oshoala go be the winner. So and I actually watch episode. But I want to ask you this question: who do you think can upstage Oshoala in our team?
Ajibade and Nnadozie. For me, those are the 2. Nnadozie is a fantastic. She's already one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and Ajibade is a freakishly talented young winger. And I think that if she continues to apply herself the way she's applying herself, she can. One of the disadvantages that she has when you compare her to like an Asisat is the club that she plays for. Because she will never really be able to stack up at club level. The reality of it is that unless Oshoala has a very bad year, she will most likely score more goals than Ajibade.
Yeah.
Just based on her club, she will most likely score more goals. So
Yes.
it's going to be interesting. But we're already seeing Ajibade at national team level, what she's doing.
Yes.
She's already
Yes.
becoming a more important player at national team level. This last 4 games that we've played, or 6 games that we've played, she's been very important, very crucial, scoring goals, providing assists.
Yes.
At the World Cup, we saw when she, after missing the first game, when she came, we saw what she did. So I think those two have the best chance. I would have put Ucheibe there as well, but my issue is that Ucheibe is a DM, and
Yes.
DMs just do not get that much praise. The only DM that has ever been thought to be, let me not say ever, but that is easily coming to my mind now, in recent years, that was thought to be one of the best players in the world was Kante. Maybe some people
Yes.
might, I don't know, some people, I don't consider Jorginho to be a DM. It's not really defending.
Yes.
I don't really consider Rodri to really be a DM like that. So when you look at it, it's only Kante that okay, his job was to defend. That was really considered one of the best in the world. So I think it would be tough for Ucheibe to get that kind of accolade and recognition. But like in a team of the year is where I think she would definitely have to be making it. She would definitely have to be getting nominated. Like she was nominated in the initial list this year as well. So that's what I think. Nnadozie, Ajibade, Ucheibe, I think are the 3 on our team right now. They have the best chance of, if somebody is going to surpass Oshoala, is one of them, I think. But the reality is that goal scorers always get the most credit, the most praise.
Yes. Yes.
So
That is.
it's always going to be tricky like that.
Yes.
What about you? What do you think?
So for me, I think that to upstage there for Oshoala, you must be consistent. You must be a goal scorer. You must play for a winning team. That's actually one of the things I see, and you must also try and stamp yourself. But my problem with the current generation is this: anytime Oshoala is playing, all the attention is going to be on her. Except probably she dropped off and somebody like Ajibade that took over the mantle. You get it? But I think that anytime she plays, even as a sub, the attention will always be around her. And you cannot take that away. Even if you go and use your teeth to score. When Oshoala is there, Oshoala will get this thing, because it's just like Messi. Sometimes Messi will be walking on the pitch. Neymar will score a lot of goals, but when they want to award something, it's going to be Messi. So that is what I just think. Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, we have to understand that it is a result of what she has done in the past. It's a result of the track record that she has, the reputation that she has built for herself. So we can't really get too mad at it. Hopefully, everybody can score goals, but again, like I said, as long as Oshoala is in Barcelona and she stays fit, unless Barca want to sign Ajibade, then it's obviously not going to be easy, because Atletico, they don't score that many. See, Barcelona, I think they've already scored 60 something goals this season. They average 5 goals per match. That Barcelona women's team, So it's just very, very difficult to surpass that. Okay, let me ask you this question before we move on to the men. Do you think either in Nigeria or in Africa that we would ever see a player as dominant as Oshoala again?
I don't think so. It's gonna be rare to see that, because Oshoala started at a very young age, and it's gonna be very difficult to get that, because now that countries are trying to develop you only see one talent or the other trying to spring up from somewhere. So it's gonna be hard for someone to dominate. See, even when Messi Akide was dominating African football, it's not like this. Oshoala is the best player of all time from Africa. He's the best player of all time. I bet anybody can pick this thing and take it anywhere. From 91 to now, Oshoala is the best ever African player. Take it or leave it. I don't think we will ever see this dominance again. That's my opinion.
Mm.
See,
No.
and then Oshoala is like a case study in the UK. They put Oshoala in the curriculum in the UK. You read about Oshoala, and
Mm.
yes, so for curriculum, for comprehension about Oshoala when they won the BBC Player of the Year. So I don't think we'll ever see this dominance again. I think she's already set the standard so high.
Mm. No, and I have to say honestly, I agree with you. Um, there's it's just hard for me to picture, and I guess a part of it is because the women's football in Africa is also developing. So the
Mm-hmm.
competition is getting tougher. More people
Mm-hmm.
are coming into the mix. You know, but the way she's just been so dominant, the way she's just stamped
Mm-hmm.
herself in African football, um, is she's the goat. Like you said, she's the goat.
Yes.
No one
Mm-hmm.
no one compares to her. And by the time
Mm-hmm.
she's done, you know, in another maybe I don't know how many years she has, maybe another 6 years, because I
Mm-hmm.
think Oshoala is 29. So
Mm-hmm.
if she wants to do like Onome, she can do another 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So is it's going to be difficult. I don't think we'll see anybody like her again. She's
Yeah,
by
I don't
far,
think so too.
I think, the best ever African women's player. And
Yeah, 100%.
congratulations to her. Super proud of her. I mean, I met Oshoala earlier this year in April in Barcelona. When I went to watch her game against Ajibade. And she
Mm-hmm.
was so nice. She was so welcoming, down to earth. The only thing I should not do that day is she should not just take me to go and eat fish and this thing. Other than that, she treated me so well. For somebody that was our first time ever meeting. I was so happy. For a legend like that, she's actually quite a very you know
Mm-hmm.
humble, nice person to be around. So shout out to Oshoala. Happy for you, and hopefully more success to come in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very quickly, let's just go to the final award. With all due respect to the ladies, um, it's the award that most people anticipated, most people talk about, most people want to know who's going to be the winner. Is the award for the men's player of the year, 2023. And the final three nominees were, of course, Nigeria's own Victor Osimhen, and then Achraf Hakimi of Morocco slash PSG, and Mohamed Salah of Liverpool slash Egypt. Osimhen, again, in my mind, I had no doubt. I know we spoke about it on your live, and people say, what of the CAF politics? Anglophone, North Africa, this one, that one. In my mind, I say, if CAF give anybody else that award, themselves no say they no feel sleep for nights. So it had to be Osimhen after the year that he had with Napoli. And let's not even act like he did not also have a good year for Nigeria, scoring goals, being the top goal scorer in the qualifying phases for the AFCON. After the year that he had, I think Osimhen obviously had to be the selection, had to be the winner. His first ever African Best Player award. Hopefully he can win some more in the future. It's tough. Competition is tough. There are definitely good players. I'm sure the likes of Mane will be looking at next year. May I do something? Although he's in Saudi now, the likes of Salah will be like, next year Liverpool is top of the league. Maybe Salah might win Prem. Who knows? Maybe he might do well in Afcon. The competition is there, but Osimhen, I think, with the year that he had, he must be proud of himself. He must be happy with what he's achieved. Some years back, Osimhen won the Young Player of the Year award. I don't remember which year it was. And then now he has
50.
2015, yeah. And now he has come full circle, to win the big boy zone, the men's player of the year. I'm sure he must be so happy, he must be so proud of himself, and he's definitely made Nigerians proud. The way Nigerians cheer for Osimhen, Nigerian fans, I don't think I've seen them like rally behind somebody like that, in such a long time. So hopefully he keeps making us proud, and keeps achieving more and more success. What your thoughts on Osimhen winning the Player of the Year award?
Well, like before the top three, I thought it was a no-brainer that Victor is going to be the African best player. But when I saw the top three and I realized that the top three is why did CAF not select the right players? Maybe they knew that their award would be in Morocco, they went for Mohamed Salah instead of Riyad Mahrez. Because I think that Mahrez basically had a better season than Mo Salah. He won the treble for Man City before he went to Saudi Arabia this year. So, and I also, Achraf Hakimi is not the best player in the Moroccan team that went to the semifinal of the World Cup. I think it was the goalkeeper and Sophia Amrabat. They was actually the best player in that team, but they picked Hakimi. So I think that Osimhen should have edge. But the issue, CAF policies in previous years, what happens. But now I'm relieved that Victor actually won the award. It was never in doubt, but the reason why we're doubting actually was because of CAF. What CAF actually what to do. But I'm happy that Victor is the best player. This is the first time in 24 years that a Nigerian player will actually win the best African player since Kanu Nwako. And if you look at it too, how many player, past African player that won the Young Player of the Year and also won the African Best Player? You can see, so it's making history, not just for Nigeria, it's for Africa, to show that youth football is the way. 8 years after, he won the best player. So I think that those that played with him then at the under 17, they should look at him now and say, I can still do something. And I hope that you can actually see him. Don't envy him, emulate what he has done and think that, I can still take something out too. And about support too, you mentioned that Nigerians supported him. Also, too, Nigeria did not. Some Nigerians did not even support him. So, but the boy was able to, because I saw some posts that people are like, God's really vindicated the guy.
Okay, let's talk about something quickly. Let's talk about Nigerians did not support him, because there was one in particular that a number of people were talking about, which was the case of Emmanuel Amuneke. Of course, Osimhen, for those of you that did not watch the award show, while giving his speech, he thanked Emmanuel Amuneke. But the funny part of it, if you consider it to be funny, was that CAF had posted a video earlier in the day where they were asking the legends who they thought or they wanted to win the award. And Amuneke had said Mohamed Salah. So some people are saying that, why is it that we don't like to support our own people? That is it envy? Is it jealousy? In your opinion, do you think people are reading too much into this thing?
I think you can think it from right to left. It could be combination of several things, because I realized that some people maybe because they might not be in good times and everything, they might think that, okay, why doesn't want to win it? But a lot of people forget that you have to be objective with what you are doing. That, does it worth it? Forget about if you have any personal things against it. I think I saw a video too after Amuneke said Salah, that he was interviewed and he said that, Osimhen deserves Nigerian, Osimhen deserves it. But I think that that's like a damaged imitation. What was in his mind was what he said first. It's not now that he's saying something different. But I like the way Osimhen did. Without Amuneke, I don't think we would know about Victor Osimhen too. So, I'm happy, but sometimes too, if you have an ambition to be a national team coach, if you know that this boy can still play under you, even you have to say that, acknowledge that, you want this boy to win it. It's not as if that we say you merit it, but you want him to actually want to win it. All the people with similar skin that we have said it was Osimhen. Even the French people, Francophone, Osimhen. But you that is even like his father, that they say he wants to say Salah.
And for me, I saw it and I don't know, in my mind, I was like, maybe you do not, is it like did not hear the question, or he did not think about it too much and he just said Salah? Because obviously you would expect, even if not just because he's Nigerian, but because of the kind of relationship that we believe that he has with Osimhen, you would expect him to vote for Osimhen. It's like if they nominate your child for award and you don't vote for your own child. That's the way people look at it. But at the end of the day, I think it's just one of those things. we all know that he likes Osimhen. Hopefully, nothing has changed. Hopefully, their relationship is still as strong as it used to be. Obviously, because of the track record that Nigerian journalists, Nigerian legends have when it comes to voting in these awards, we've seen it in the past where people like Petro and Kocha did not vote for Oshoala, where people like Osasu Obiwana did not vote for the Nigerians. We've seen Tunde Adelakun give votes to one other person. We've seen
Mm-hmm.
these things happen. So maybe that's why people are quite skeptical when they hear somebody call another name. But I don't want to believe that it has anything to do with envy or with jealousy or anything like that. I prefer not to think in that direction. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, it was a video that went around and people were talking about. Some people said that um, in another space, he said that he actually voted for Osimhen. That's what some
Mm-hmm.
people said. But
Mm.
you know how life is now. Now the negative one we go travel more than the positive one. You know, and
That's it, though.
and at the end of the
That's it.
day, he has to accept what he said. And it is what it is. At the end of the day,
Yes.
it is what it is. I'm
Yes.
sure Osimhen is not thinking too much about
Into
it.
it. Yes.
Um,
I hope so
so yeah,
too.
clean sweep. Well, not a clean sweep. Let me scratch that. Um, a, we won the night, but we missed out on one. That we got into the final three, which was Deborah Abiodun. But other than that, it was a fantastic night for
Yeah.
the Nigerian players.
Yes.
Osimhen was looking dapper in his suit. I really liked the suit. Nice
Yeah.
suit. I liked Oshoala's outfit as well. With her
Yeah.
hats,
Mm-hmm.
she was looking like a soldier woman. It was a
Mm-hmm.
nice outfit. And then of course,
Mm-hmm.
Nnadozie's outfit was nice as well. But the way Osimhen and Oshoala wore green, it would have been nice if they sent message to Chiamaka to say, you said buy green suit. Maybe, maybe we all just
Yes.
wear green and rock stay
Yeah.
together. No, but it
Mm-hmm.
was it was a nice one. It was a nice one for sure. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, proud of Nigerians. For me
Yes.
again, I look at it. I guess my final thought on the whole CAF Awards and our nights is that we have quality players. We can all see it. In fact, we have world class players in Osimhen, in Chiamaka, in Asisat Oshoala. We got selected as the national team of the year, for the women's side. Um, we had other players that didn't make the final team but got nominated across the different awards. So it shows us one thing: player no be our problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it shows us. Player no be our problem. Now, my prayer, my challenge is that the people that are working in the office can also rise and become world class. Right now, they
Mm.
are not. Osimhen is world class. Oshoala is world class. Nnadozie is world class. Why can't we also have world class FA president, world
Mm-hmm.
class technical director,
Mm-hmm.
world class, general manager? You know,
Mm-hmm.
why can't we have world class people in the office as well? World class media officer. You know, if we can have world class people in the offices, I think it will only add to our success.
Yes.
It will, my own personal feeling, man to man, nobody has the kind of players we have
Yes.
in Africa. They don't get me wrong, they have good players as well. All due
Yes.
respect to the Moroccos, the Senegals, the Egypt. They have good players, very good players, but
Mm.
they don't have the number of quality
Yes.
players that we have. So the only reason why they would be dominating like a Senegal ahead of us is because of all the other things that go into it before the 90 minutes on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing we watch is the 90 minutes.
Yes.
But there's so much that happens before
Before
you
90
even step
minutes.
on the field to start
Yes.
playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And if those other things we can do at a world class level,
Mm-hmm.
man, the potential is so much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my prayer. I'm challenging the FA people. I'm challenging anybody that works in the back room. I'm challenging anybody that works in the office, in the glass house. I don't care what your role is. be world class at your job. Even if you are the guy that waters the pitch, be world class. You are the guy that hangs the jersey for the players in the locker room, be world class.
Yes.
If everything is world class, the
Mm-hmm.
team will also be world class.
Yes.
So yeah, that's my final thoughts. How about you? Final thoughts on your one?
My final thought is that it's a win-win night for Nigeria. One of the best nights in so many years. And if the NFF is listening to me, please get Randy Wardrum back. Don't be flattered by the 7-1 and the 5-1 that we won. Please get Randy Wardrum back, because I think that is key to Nigeria qualifying for the Olympics. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Smith Layi. Thank you very much to everyone that has tuned in for this episode. It's been a pleasure talking African football, or Nigerian football in the African context. The awards, again, colorful ceremony held in Morocco, fantastic one. A great night for Nigerian players and for I'll say Nigerian football, considering the fact that we also were the national team of the year. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you are listening on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, wherever, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss next episode. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. Let's get the subscriber count up. Let's get the views on this video to like 5K at least. Let's start increasing the metrics. You have given us like 1K, 2K. This time, let's carry it up to 5K. And hopefully things can keep on growing like that. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Smith Layi. Always enjoy our conversations as always. And then yes, until next time, my name is AyoT and my co-host
Smith Layi.
All right, bye bye, guys.
Thank you.